Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. This video is going to be a little different than anything I've done. It is now October. October brings forth a lot of challenges for trout fishing the Watauga River this time of year. And that's what I want to talk about. There's several challenges, but there's three that I'm going to focus on in this video. The first is the TVA generating schedule is all over the place. One day they won't generate all, the next day they'll generate for a couple hours, the next day it'll be like 3 hours here, won't generate for 3 or 4 hours, and then generate again. And then they'll change it on a whim. You don't know. You'll plan one thing, and then when you get down to the river, it's something else. So that being said, the first thing is you really have to pay attention. Kind of got to know how long it takes for the river to rise or fall based on whether they've started generating or releasing or stopped. And this first section, Jimmy and I didn't time it right. We kind of thought it would come up where we were at in about an hour to an hour and a half. It actually took 2 hours. So we ended up standing around and waiting for a while, which you're not going to see all that. But once the water finally did come up, Jimmy was able to somewhat catch a fish. He kind of snagged it. But it was a catch. So show you that right now. Well, we have moved way upstream to our kind of honey hole that we had there a few weeks ago, where we were just catching them in like 4 consecutive casts and 4 and 10 minutes. We were slaying them. But we're actually waiting for the water to come back up. We know they're going to start. They started generating at 4 o'clock, and it usually takes about an hour and a half for the water to come up here. So we're just sitting around waiting for the water to rise. Hopefully when that water starts coming up, the bite will increase as well. You can see Jimmy back here sitting, having a nice little rest. You got to forgive, he and I, we're kind of old, so our backs start to hurt, so we got to sit down. So water comes up, we'll see what it does. Jimmy's got one down there. We're going to see if I can get to him. We're going to check it out. Oh, do you? Okay, question, brown or rainbow? Brown. Ah, he's got a brown. Yep, clear water minnow. Yep. But it is a brown. It's a brown. Okay. It's fun to do is get him out of his back. I'm gonna do kind of break with fishing etiquette, and while he's getting that off, I'm gonna fish in his spot. Yeah. Hey, it was a fish. It was a catch. Something we hadn't done all day. We have struggled mightily. And that clear water minnow of his, whether a fish hits it or not, it still can seem like it just reaches down and grabs a fish and yanks it right out of the water. That's kind of funny because that's kind of what it looked like right there. But hey, he got the skunk off the board. He caught a fish. Kudos to Jimmy. You need to check out his Facebook page if you haven't. A link to his Facebook page is linked in the description below, so you need to check him out at E&H Lures. Now, a second challenge, like I said before, is the TVA can just be all over the place with their generating schedule. But the second challenge is you really have to pay attention, not just to the generating schedule, but to the flow rates, how much water is actually coming through the dam, because this time of year they will spill from the lake because they drop the lake levels for wintertime. But Tim actually was able to catch a fish. Check it out. I'm out here on the river tonight with me. It's me and Tim the Trout Man right down there. We kind of got a little bit of a surprise when we got to the river. According to the generating schedule, they're not generating. They shut it off at like 3 or 4 o'clock. So we came down here with lighter tackle, planning on the water to be low. Where my mistake was made was I didn't look at the flow rates. They're not generating, but they're still spilling from the lake. Maybe they're dropping the lake levels for fall. But the water is up a little bit. I don't have the right gear, but I've got rooster tail and a 4-foot ultralight that I'm going to throw, and I've got my night fishing rod with a -1 on it that I'm going to throw here in a minute when it gets dark. So I don't know how this is going to turn out at all, but we're going to give it a shot. Let's go. Yeah, like I said, I have no idea how this is going to turn out. I should have paid more attention to the schedule, but I was really excited about doing the nighttime fishing, throwing some mice, what we call a -1, which is actually a Strike King KD style bait, a wake bait. And I still plan on doing that, but that's almost like a painting. That is gorgeous. Okay, Tim and I have moved upstream. The water is still swift here, but it is deeper. So I think that might be slowing it down a little bit. And I don't know if you can see in my light, but there are like hundreds of bats flying around here. I mean, they're everywhere. So that may play havoc with the fishing, because I think they're going to end up in our line at some point. But, whoop, well, I was going to show you what I got. Okay, I'm still sticking with what we call the -1. Technically, it is a Strike King KD. I think is the model's a KD. This is actually a XPS, a Bass Pro Shop brand. So, but it looks just like the Strike King. So, I don't know. We're gonna try it and find out. I can't exactly fling it right here because there's not a lot of river to work with. It is really narrow right here. So probably ought to be throwing downstream more. And I'm trying to leave my line on, so if I do get a strike, you can see it. Normally, not fishing, I can't because the bug's eating me alive. And if I don't quit this in a minute, a bat's gonna go after a bug and hit me right square in the head. Good, not. Oh, he came off. Holy cow. He slammed this thing. Right up here at the bank. He may have chased it. Whoo! That actually took me by surprise. The splashing and I felt the tension at the same time. It just kind of... Now, what were you saying? Oh, if I can get through the jungles of Africa here. Tim's got one down here. Where's he at? Oh. Ah, big web, big web. How'd you get over there without walking through that web? Golly, if I can get down here to him. Oh shoot, you know what? I didn't either.
I guess I need to walk back up there.
Pretty decent one.
I mean, it was just literally right off of...
right off the bank?
Yeah, I've got on both.
Okay, he's got on -1. And a nice brownie.
I mean, literally probably 3 feet off the bank, so...
3 feet off the bank. Whether it's 3 feet off the bank or 300 yards off the bank.
And I think
Timmy's got the skunk off the board. And there it goes.
That's good.
And the thing of it is, if you mess up that generating schedule right now, if you don't look at it correctly, the days are shorter. It gets darker earlier. So after work, you only got a very limited amount of time to fish. So if you mess up that schedule and don't time that just right, you're not going to have the right tackle. You're not going to have the right gear in a lot of cases. So you're basically going to be struggling quite often if you don't pay attention to what's going on with the TVA. Now the third and final challenge in October, and this is a biggie. This happens every year, no control over it, but it does kind of kill the fishing for about 2 weeks, and that is the fall. We're in fall. Fall is called fall for a reason. The leaves fall. Now, when the leaves fall, they end up in the river, and it is a massive flow. I mean, you hear people in Hawaii seeing lava flows from the volcano. Well, the river turns into almost a lava flow. It's a leaf flow. It is just solid leaves. You can't cast without snagging a leaf. And we're not there yet, but it does tend to be a challenge in trying to make casts like this. Got a really short window to get some fishing in this evening. Sunset's about 7. We are now deep into fall. As you can tell, probably the trees in the background, leaves are starting to turn. So I've only got roughly an hour to get some fishing in. I'll show you what I've got tied on once I get down there. So enough talking, wasting time. Let's catch some trout. You know, I'm catching a lot of leaves. And the sad thing of it is, it's the leaf situation in the river is not even bad right now. Here in about another week or 2 weeks, it's gonna be so bad you could almost walk across this river because of all the leaves without getting your ankles wet. Another leaf. Stick. And another stick. Now, in spite of these challenges, we're not stopping. We're going to continue to fish until the leaves are gone. We're going to keep plugging away, keep trying to make these videos. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Don't know how many fishing videos I'm going to be doing over the next couple of weeks because of the October challenges, but I'm going to make forth that effort and get as many videos out as I can. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you'll be the first to see them. We'll see you on the next one.